In today's show, Steph Curry scored 48 points and hit 12 three-pointers and lost. Welcome to Locked On Blazers. Let's get into it.
You are Locked On Trailblazers, your daily Portland Trailblazers podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
What's up, world? It's your past first point guard and Trailblazers reporter Mike Richmond. You're listening to another episode of Locked On Blazers, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, available wherever you get podcasts and also on YouTube. Thanks for making this show your first listen, coming at you each and every weekday, Monday through Friday. So make it a part of your daily routine. Make your first listen. Tell your friends to do the same. Locked On Blazers, your team every day. In today's show, we're talking about a Blazers 136-131 win over the Warriors. Steph Curry, 48 points. Hit 12 of 19 three-pointers. Had a vintage Steph Curry game. And lost. Because you know who else was vintage? Your boy Jerami Grant. Shaedon Sharpe was fantastic. Denny Avdia got his. And the Blazers won a shootout. An incredible night of shot making. We'll get into all of it. We'll do our fastest recap in the West. We'll talk about the Blazers being resilient, answering runs when they needed to, and what this means for them going forward now that they're back closer to whole, at least with centers to play. Still no point guards, but hey, who frickin' needs them? Rob Williams returns, Don McClingan returns. We'll get into all of it, do our fastest recap in the West, and get you caught up on everything you need to know. Let's start there with the recap. Blazers get their centers back after missing the prior 3 games. Don McClingan is back in action. Rob Williams had missed a few games with an illness. He's back in action. Tiago Splitter said that both of them are still on a minutes limit. I can't imagine that Rob's is related to the illness. Maybe it is, but I can't imagine it is. I bet that's just related to the series of injuries Rob Williams has sustained over the years. He played 19 minutes and 9 seconds. I'm going to guess he was supposed to play about 20. Don McClingan played 22 minutes. I'm going to guess he was supposed to play about 20. And they made it work and got a win. And right away, this game was about shot making. An absolutely, just a fantastically played basketball game. An incredibly enjoyable one. Here's a fast recap in the West. Blazers up 3 after 1. They scored 20 points in the opening 5 minutes. They hit 5 of their first 8 shots, 4 of 5 from 3. They got to the free throw line, including getting fouled on a 3-point attempt. They're on pace 5 minutes into the game when the Warriors take a timeout to score a $192. And they didn't score 192 points, but they did score 136 points, and they just put it on them. They absolutely just kept scoring. Led early by as many as 11, but ended up only down 3. Tough close to the quarter. A little 8-0 run. At the end of the quarter from the Warriors, cuts it to 3, and they go into the second quarter, and hot shooting continues for the Blazers. But it looks like the tide is turning. Like Portland has made 10 of the first 19 threes to begin this game. But in that second quarter, all of a sudden, like I thought Draymond Green started really humming. He was playing really well. Steph Curry's making shots, and the Warriors are just sort of not that they seized the momentum. They barely led. The only time they led was at the very end of the half. But the Blazers shot making didn't feel like immediately sustainable, and it felt like, well, the Warriors are shooting really well too, but they have freaking Steph. And this was going to be sort of the theme, right? Is like the game is not slipping away, but all of a sudden the Warriors have an opportunity because they've weathered a really good shooting half from the Blazers. A really nice shooting half from the Blazers. Shaedon Sharpe had 15 in the first half. Denny had 12. Their guys are leading him. Denny didn't shoot particularly well, but he's like kind of doing what he does with 12 and 6. And then you get to the third quarter, and Steph hits 4 threes, and the Warriors lead by as many as 9 points. But Shaedon Sharpe responded. This was the theme of the entire game. Sharpe has a monster third quarter. Like I said, 15 in the first half, 16 in the third. He had 16 points, 3 assists, 3 steals. He had 5 of 6 shots, including 3 of 4 threes in the third quarter. Shaedon Sharpe matched Steph Curry and was better than him straight up offensively in the third. Shea has, he's back in the starting lineup. Blazers started Shaedon Sharpe and Denny Avdia, Tumani Kamara, Jerami Grant, along with Donovan Clingan. Shea's back. He started the last 2 games. Seems like the sort of bench experiment, even when he was still playing 30 minutes a night, is kind of over and done with. And they're gonna unleash Shaedon because they know that they need him. And he was so freaking good in that third quarter. He didn't have any assists in the first half, but uses his sort of gravity, uses his scoring threat to make himself a playmaker. And when the shot goes in, I'll talk about more Shea in the second segment. When the shot goes in for Shaedon Sharpe, he's just really hard to deal with on offense because he can get to that step back. He just hasn't made it, but he can get to it whenever he wants. He just hasn't made it with any consistency at any point in his career. If that is a thing, and he made a couple step back threes in this game, if that's a thing, like, he's just so hard to guard because he is very good getting to the rim. If you give him, he doesn't have this like crazy bag of moves, but if you let him get a step, his strength and his balance around the rim is just really special. And that 3-point shooting opens up that so much. So the Warriors, despite Steph hitting 4 threes in the third quarter, only up 3 heading into the fourth. But again, it's Steph Curry's on the court. And because of foul trouble, Tumani Kamara has missed a bunch of this. He picked up his 3rd foul in the second quarter. He picked up his 4th foul with like 8 minutes left in the third, and he checks out. Then he comes in to start the 4th, and he picked up a 5th foul pretty early in the like a minute and 70 seconds into the fourth quarter. And the Warriors, Tumani Kamara is going to the bench, and the Warriors are just cruising because Steph Curry hits 2 more threes, and all of a sudden they're up 10. They're up 10. Jerami Grant, Rob Williams gets a dunk. Rob was great. And Jerami Grant hits 2 huge threes. And all of a sudden, the Blazers are only down 2. And they keep pushing. And they take the lead back. And again, the Warriors respond. And again, Steph Curry. And again, the Blazers find themselves down. 5 minutes, 5-point game. Warriors leading. 2.5 minutes left. Steph Curry's just hit a 3. There's a lot of Warriors fans in the building. There's folks cheering, but the Blazers again need to respond. They've had so many close games this year where they just, they've turned the ball over in inopportune times, or just the half court offense has dried up, or they just haven't been able to get stops, which has really been the real thing for them. But they respond. Jerami Grant hits a right corner 3. Tumani Kamara back in the game, gets a turnover when Brandon Przemski runs him over, trying to set a screen. He kind of moving screen, a collision, trying to get Steph free. Denny drives and 1. All of a sudden, the Blazers from down 2 possessions, from down 5 to up 1. But Curry responds with another 3. Warriors back up 2, and the Blazers come back. Jerami Grant works the baseline, gets an and 1 bucket as he's kind of sliding out to his left. There's one thing Jerami Grant loves to do is fall down after he shoots. He was fantastic in the fourth quarter. Blazers go up 1 with 1:11. Final 70 seconds of this game's bonkers. So this is a classic fastest recap in the West that I really could spend 40 minutes on if I want to. We're trying to do it in about a clean 10. Curry misses a 3. Warriors get the ball back. 70 seconds left. Curry misses a 3. So now the Blazers can run clock. It's important. They need to kill 20 seconds of the clock. Like, you don't, in a 1-point game, you just don't want to mess around. And Shaedon Sharpe has the ball just inside the half court line, like right corner, kind of tagged up against the sideline, coffin corner of sorts. And they're really putting a bunch of pressure on him, and he's having trouble getting loose, and he's having trouble, he can't even make a pass out to find, Denny kind of shows at the top of the key, and Sharpe doesn't see him right away and doesn't make that pass. And Sharpe, because he's he doesn't have a super strong handle, he's not a great passer. What he is a downhill scorer. He says, all right, I'm gonna go. Gets himself to the rim, but loses it as the Warriors swarming defense kind of slaps the ball away as he's driving. And so the Warriors are going to get the ball back down 1, clock running, under 40 seconds. And Steph Curry just smokes a layup. He's just straight up smoked a layup. He got all the way to the rim. It's a great look, a makeable shot. It's a layup. It's a makeable shot for everybody. It's certainly a makeable shot for one of the great scorers in the league history. Jimmy Butler misses 2 taps at it. The taps were in a crowd, but Jimmy got a finger on it twice. Blazers come away with it, and Warriors are forced to foul. Denny goes to the free throw line. 20 seconds left, 19.9, makes them both. But you're down 3. Steph Curry's get the ball. Warriors are going to take the timeout. The Warriors are going to get the ball with the freaking best shooter ever, who's made 12 3-pointers and has 48 points down 3. You know where it's going. They run a 2-man game, pick and roll with Draymond and Steph. They had gone small because early in that third quarter, from about the 3-minute mark to the 2-minute mark, they had Donovan Clingan in the game. And for about 60 seconds, Steph Curry roasted Donovan Clingan alive. They got him out of there. They went small, put C. Sissoko at the end of the game. But it is Tumani and Shaedon Sharpe in this final double team. And I thought this was great play from Shea. I really did. Steph Curry turns the corner with Draymond Green setting the screen for him. And Shea just walls up. He does not let Steph Curry get downhill. This isn't like high-level defense, but this is the level of defense you needed at the moment. Squared up, showed him a body, didn't let him turn the corner, didn't let him get free and kind of get into that sort of pump fake handoff pitch back, terrifying two-man game that Steph can get into if you let him make you wobble. Shaedon Sharpe plays really, really solid, does contain defense there. And as Steph tries to pitch it back to Monty Kamara, who's basically not really played very much in the second half, tips the pass with both hands to deflect it. As the pitch back to Draymond Green, the Blazers get a huge steal. Shaedon Sharpe gets fouled, makes both free throws. This was nuts. Shaedon makes both free throws with 15.2 seconds left, and Moses Moody is just standing at the other end. He's kind of hiding in the corner and like at the far basket, and the Blazers aren't guarding him. They are straight up are not guarding him. They have no awareness of him 90 feet from the rim, and out of the second made free throw, Brandon Podziemski can just launch it long, a 90-foot pass, and Moody gets a dunk, and it's a 3-point game with 13.2 seconds left. Oh no. Blazers take a timeout to run to set up an inbounds play. They throw it into Jerami Grant. D'Anthony Melton grabbed him around the waist. I thought if you don't call it, they call a foul a little bit late. If they don't call it live, Blazers were out of challenges because Tiago had 1-1 with like 5 minutes left. Splitter had 1-1 with 5 minutes left. But like, there's a lot of contact often in NBA in NBA inbounds. Like they let you grab and pull sometimes in those situations, but they didn't. They called it. I think it's one of those things that's just absolutely a foul on the replay. But if like you will see them do that all over the court in an NBA game. Refs got it right on the review. Steve Kerr challenged it, upheld. Jerami Grant makes both free throws. Blazers go up 5 with 13 seconds left. Warriors out of timeouts, got nothing left. They lose 136-113. That's your fastest recap in the West. So much to freaking talk about. Join me in the second segment. We will do all of that. First, though, I want to tell you about Wayfair. The holidays always show up faster than you expect. And so if you're still putting together gifts, last-minute decor, getting your home ready for guests, Wayfair has you covered. Whether you need a quick room refresh, whether you need new bedding if you got folks coming into town, or those final seasonal touches, Wayfair makes it easy to get what you need fast. So Wayfair truly is your one-stop shop for everything home, with decor, furniture, kitchen essentials, gifts for every style and every budget, all delivered quickly and easily. Their selection is huge. Bedding, decor, kitchen gear, kids' room updates. I bought a little couch for my kid. You can find all of it. Plus, you got no massive delivery fees and no stress. It's going to get to your house quickly and for free. So get last minute hosting essentials, gifts for all your loved ones, and decor to celebrate the holidays for way less. Head to wayfair.com right now to shop all things home. That's WAYFAIR.com. Wayfair, every style, every home. Today's program is also brought to you by FanDuel. NFL Sundays move fast, and you know who knows that is my friend Dr. Nick, who I beat in the fantasy football playoffs. Shout out to you, Dr. Nick. I know you're not listening, but someone is, and they'll let you know about it. One big play, and suddenly everything feels different. For some folks, could be Amon-Ra St. Brown scoring a couple touchdowns in the first half. That's what makes live betting with FanDuel so exciting. You're not just watching the game, you're reacting to it in real time with FanDuel. You can place bets as the action unfolds. Every drive, every momentum swing, every highlight moment. Live spreads and money lines adjust instantly, like when Kyle Pitts scores 3 touchdowns on Thursday Night Football, and I lose my other fantasy football matchup to a longtime listener, friend of the program, Jacob. Tough, but if you are on FanDuel, you're still, even if Kyle Pitts scores 3 touchdowns, your player props are going to update instantly. So after you score that second one, you could have got action on the third one. If you want to be right in the middle of the action this season, visit FanDuel.com and place your NFL live bets all season long. FanDuel, the game moves fast, and so can you. All right. So what a game. Like, what just... so much happened, right? I want to talk a little bit about Shaedon Sharpe, and I want to talk about Jerami Grant. I think because the final 20 seconds were so chaotic, like losing Moses Moody and then getting a steal, losing Moses Moody, a challenge that I kind of undersold how good Jerami Grant was in the fourth quarter. He was great. Steph Curry had 21 points and hit 5 of 9 threes in the fourth quarter. He said, "Come on, get on my back. We're going home." And Jerami Grant says, "Actually, these dudes are on my back, and we're already home." Jerami Grant, 19 points, 4 of 5 threes in the fourth quarter. Crucial. He was just and one with 70 seconds left. Put the Blazers up one, and they were able to hold on from there. The go-ahead bucket. He had another 3 to trim the lead to 2 with 2.5 minutes left. He had those 2 big threes early in the quarter when the Warriors were up 10, and it looked like things were slipping away. Like Jerami was really, really, really good in this game. He was really, really good in this game, and Jerami Grant had 35 and hit 7 threes. Shaedon Sharpe had 35 and hit 5 threes. I saw a social media graphic prior to pressing record on this that said they're the first 2 Blazer teammates to have 35 points and at least 5 made threes. Yeah, it's pretty rare stat lines for anybody, certainly 2 teammates. I thought, I'm not going to talk about him very much in this game, but Denny Avdia is just in this show, I mean, Denny will he had 26 points, 7 boards and 8 assists, and he was kind of he's just relentless. He was Denny was solid. You look up 26, 7, and 8. Solid for him is just a totally different thing. In bonkers shot making in this game. The Warriors go 24 of 47 from 3. That's 51%. The Blazers went 20 of 39. I mentioned that they started that they made 10 of their first 19 from 3, right? They made 10 of their first 19 from 3. They made 10 of their final 20 from 3 as well. They finished 20 of 39. That's 51.3%. Steph Curry had 48 points and hit 12 threes on 16 of 26 shooting and lost. Missed a 3 late, missed a layup late, just kind of ran out of magic. I want to talk a little bit about Shaedon Sharpe, though. This was just an awesome game from Shea. And he hasn't had many games this year where he's just been he's had two or three at this level. This isn't even his season high. He had the season high 36. So I'm not saying he's never done this, and I don't want to downplay him because I think he's for the most part he was really, really rough to begin the year, and he's for the most part kind of flattened out in terms of general offensive efficiency in terms of scoring. Although the 3-point shooting just has not come around. But this is a different version of Sharpe. He hit 5 of 7 threes. I mentioned this in the lead up to the season during my season preview for Sharpe, and I believe this pretty strongly, is that for Shaedon, 3-point shooting is a floor skill. And what I mean by that is if he's not a good 3-point shooter, the floor for Shaedon Sharpe is so low. It's so low because and it's because he's a shooting guard. You have to make threes and to play that position in the NBA. He doesn't have to make 40% of his threes, but he can't be a 29% 3-point shooter like he struggled this year. It's just he just can't be, right? But I mentioned 3-point shooting. It's he doesn't need to be an elite shooter. It's a floor skill. It's going to raise his floor because if he can shoot from 3 at a slightly below league average level, with his ability to get to his spots in the mid-range and as a good finisher as he is around the rim, he's just going to be a good offensive player, right? He's going to be a good scorer. It's a floor skill. If he's not a good 3-point shooter, the floor is a lot lower. But everything else about his game is the ceiling stuff. It's passing, it's rebounding, it's defending. Those are the ceiling stuff. His ceiling will be defined by the secondary stuff because I think his baseline of being a scorer is there. The 3-point shooting will determine his floor, and everything else will determine his ceiling. And that's that third quarter. He had 15 in the first half. He has 16 in the third quarter. And Steph Curry was cooking. Steph Curry had 12 and hit 4 threes, and the Warriors were up by as many as 9. And this was what every time the Warriors looked like they were going to pull away, the Blazers did enough to respond. And Shea was huge. But I think that third quarter really speaks to what I'm talking about here. Sure, 16 points, 5 of 6 shooting, misses one friggin' shot, 3 of 4 from 3. Hello. Like, that dude can score. Watch out. Making step back threes, like, it got a rebound off like a long rebound and like went down the lane, and the whole stadium held their breath whether he was going to like absolutely detonate and throw down a huge dunk. And instead he finishes at the rim, but it's like just a hustle rebound and like, and those type of things. But 3 assists and 3 steals after a first half where he just didn't do much secondary stuff. Like he had a totally nice first half, right? But at halftime, Shaedon Sharpe had no rebounds, no assists, no steals, no blocks, a foul, and a turnover. He was 6 of 10, right? But it's like his ceiling is defined by that secondary stuff. He's active and aware on defense. Even the Warriors kind of throwing some dumb passes, but like being there to intercept some dumb passes, taking advantage of those mistakes, right? I thought he was active on defense and engaged there in a way like they didn't hunt Sharpe in this game. This wasn't a game where they were like, bring Sharpe into the mix. We want him. Some of that was because they were hunting Donovan Clingan a bunch. But like, this wasn't one of those games where Sharpe gets kind of like clearly like weak linked out there on defense. I thought he was competitive on defense. The passing was there for him in the third quarter. And sure, like the Blazers make shots, and that's, assists are maybe an unfair way to measure playmaking because the other dude has to hit a shot. You can make great passes that don't lead to anything. But Sharpe, like an active, multifaceted third quarter. The shooting is there. The shooting is a skill that's going to make him a very, very tough player to cover on offense. The secondary stuff, the playmaking, the defense, 3 assists, 3 steals, that's going to determine his ceiling. The question for Shaedon Sharpe always is consistency. Like, can he do this? And I'm not this. This was a very special game. What do you have? 35 on 12 of 18. Like, that's a very, very special game. And he's had another very similar game to this earlier this year. But like the efficiency and the scoring, it's like, can he string 6, 8, 12, 19, however many together, right? Can he have a stretch where he is this? Not where he hits everything, but this is another reminder of what the very, very good version of Shaedon Sharpe looks like. And you know what it looks like? A star. Like he's the difference in bench players and starters is consistency. The starters and stars and all stars and super, right? It's like, how often can you hit the high notes? This was a night where Shaedon Sharpe hit the high notes. Like he really hit them. And it was a tantalizing reminder of the talent that is in there. Obviously, like just a bonkers shot making night. Jerami Grant, bonkers shot-making night. Portland Trailblazers, bonkers shot-making night. There's so much in this game. I'm not going to be able to get to all of it, but I do want to talk about. I want to talk about the Blazers just sort of needing this win and the return of Rob and Donovan in the third segment. Join me there, won't ya? Before we do that, though, I want to tell you that today's program is also brought to you by Rugiet. Let's be real. Excuses don't solve anything. We've all heard them before. It's just stress. I'm tired. It happens to everyone sometimes. But when it comes to performance, sometimes your body just needs a little extra support, and that's where Rugiet comes in. Rugiet.com offers fast-acting, doctor-prescribed treatments for ED designed to help you stop making excuses and start making moves. Rugiet makes it easy to get started. You just connect with a board-certified doctor. It's 100% online, no waiting rooms, no in-person appointments. If you're prescribed, your treatment ships discreetly straight to your door. The process is fast, simple, and private, and it's all handled by real doctors. It's all about confidence, connection, and getting back to the moments that matter. Visit rugiet.com/LockedOnNBA to get 15% off your first order. That's rugiet.com/LockedOnNBA. Don't forget to use the code LockedOnNBA so they know we sent you. Rugiet. Stop making excuses. Start making moves. Today's program is also brought to you by the good folks at the YMCA of Columbia-Willamette, who are encouraging you to find your play. Everyone deserves to find their play because play connects us, strengthens us, and brings our community together. Through the 3 pillars of the YMCA: youth development, healthy living, and social responsibility, the Y is the local nonprofit helping people of all ages grow and belong across the Portland and Vancouver metro area. So if you want to get involved at the Y, you're going to find 6 courts and a full fitness center at the Beaverton Family Y. You're going to find families that are swimming and playing playing pickleball at the Clark County or Sherwood YMCAs. There's family activities all year long, brand new workout equipment at all 3 branches, so much more. I recently started going to the Y. I'm loving it. I'm loving swimming. I'm loving bringing my kids to be able to swim at the family pools. Getting a workout in, getting shots up on the basketball court. It's awesome. And I'm a child of YMCA camps. And now I'm an adult at the YMCA gym, coming full circle. So if you are someone who wants to get your kids involved in YMCA activities, they got camps, they got childcare, they got enrichment sites throughout the region. The Y gives kids safe and fun spaces to learn, play, and build confidence all year long. Find your play at the Y. Visit ymcacw.org/pod. That's ymcacw.org/pod, or follow them on YouTube and Instagram at YMCA CW. All right, still pass first point guard. Still Mike Richmond. You're still listening to Locked On Blazers. Thanks for making the show your first listen every day. If you really live that life, if you do live that I listen to this program every day, take it up a level. Join the Everydayer Club. Go ad free. The Everydayer Club is the way to get Locked On Blazers with no interruptions. You get an ad free audio feed for this very podcast. You get a members only Discord access and more. It's $5 a month or $50 a year. You can go to lockedonblazers.supercast.com or check the link in the show notes to learn more. Okay, there was so much that happened in this game that I feel like I can't even come close to doing it justice. Like Moses Moody getting a dunk with 13 seconds left in a 5-point game where the Blazers just like totally lost him is one of those plays you will just never see again. It was a bonkers play. To be clear, I think that is 150 million% a coaching problem. Not even necessarily Thiago Splitter. That's why you have assistants. Count how many offensive players you see and get down there. Talking to guys in the locker room, seems like maybe Moses Moody was doing the thing where you like hide in the corner and get as far away as you can. But like, what is the job of the coaching staff if not to say that's only 4 dudes? Where's the 5th guy? And like identify during those free throws, like everyone's defensive assignments, they're particularly between free throws. Like, come on. That's bonkers, right? And that's like just a drop in the bucket of so many things that happened. But the Blazers, like, they got their guys back. They had lost 3 in a row coming into this game. They had lost 6 of 7. They really needed a win. And I think afterwards, Thiago Splitter was asked a couple different ways by a couple different reporters, like, how much did this mean and blah, blah, blah. And finally, he kind of gave in and was like, yeah, we really needed it. Everybody needed it. Because I think what happens during these long NBA seasons is like, everybody, for the most part, not every team and every blah, 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 but for the most part, everybody's working hard. They're trying to, pull the rope in the same direction. They're working towards a common goal. Everybody, health and performance team is working hard to get guys' bodies right. Guys are working hard on their craft. Coaches are working hard on their advanced scouts and their edits and all of those things so they can, the video staff is making sure that every touch you have is uploaded to your iPad. Like, everybody's grinding to keep this thing going because you just like the schedule is for the most part, except for this week, it's like pretty relentless. And you just like, it can weigh on you when you feel like you're doing things right. And it's like the Blazers had 2 stinkers, like Memphis and New Orleans were stinker games, but they lost some close games on, just like they've been struggling to just like close out games late. It's like they just needed to win and have a moment to feel good because it's just easier sometimes to say, see, if you believe in the cause, we can get these wins. And right, like this was a unique game because of the hot shooting and because of how good Jerami and Shaedon were and like all that. I don't know that this is like proof of anything, but it is like just a much needed, that one felt good. Okay, like you can reset and like have a moment, and like everybody, you need like a just sort of like a vibes booster every so often in the league because the vibes can be they could be tough. And I think this was a game not only because they won and not only because they just like made a million shots and it was like a very fun game to watch, but like the resilience. The Blazers started out hot, the Warriors respond and close the gap at the end of the quarter. The Blazers continue to shoot, making 10 of their first 19 threes and hold the Warriors off, but Tumani's in foul trouble and like, listen, the Warriors had also made 10 threes in the first half. They feel like they're going to be there. Steph Curry gets going, hits 4 threes in the third quarter, but Shaedon Sharpe has a monster third. Warriors get up by 10 early in the fourth. Jerami Grant hits 2 threes every single time they responded. So it wasn't just like, I'm not just like poo-pooing this away, like, hey, if you make shots, you might win. But again, like you do make more than half of your 39 3-point attempts, you are going to mostly win these games. I do believe that. but like a little bit of resilience there to like show up and respond to every single time. And I think you just need that because it just a sort of vibes reset. Getting guys to buy in is so much easier. Quickly to close the show here. Donovan Clingan back. He was fine. 10 points, 3 assists. He blocked 3 shots. He had a couple blocking jump shots, a couple floaters inside and jump shot of Steph Curry. Like his size and his presence matters. Blazers only had 3 offensive rebounds in the first half. That was a big reason that I was a little bit worried about them. It's like they're just making shots and not doing what they normally do. But they did get 7 offensive rebounds late and in the second half, and kind of got back to a normal positive offensive rebounding game in terms of not like numbers, but because they made all those dang shots, but in terms of like normal percentage of rebounding, they hit about the number that they normally rebound of their own misses. They normally rebound about 35% of their misses. In this game, they rebound about 33% of their misses. So it got back to a very normal game in the second half in terms of overall percentage. They were below 30 at one point through 2 quarters and some change. But like, I thought Clingan was pretty good. This is a bad matchup for him, and then the Blazers kind of like tried to put him back in the game with about 3:20 left, 3:19. There was a timeout. Tried to put him back in the game, and he just kind of got cooked. And they were like, "Okay, got to get him out of there." And they closed small. I thought Rob was awesome in this game. He played 19 minutes, finished with 11 points, 11 boards, had 3 assists. He did turn the ball over 3 times and kind of got caught inside and there was one on a fast break where he just like dribbled too far out and kind of just like getting out in the deep end and got stripped and almost got stripped and then threw the ball away. But I think Rob's passing was awesome in this game. Not even just with the assists, like a couple times, just the way he sees cross court. Like Rob is just like such my type of player. He's a low maintenance dude who has really good court vision. And those are 2 things I'm always going to enjoy. Like he doesn't need to touch the ball very much to be really, really helpful. And when he does touch the ball, he sees the floor really well and just makes smart plays. I thought he was really, really good. I thought Rob was super, super helpful in this game. Like it shows it is really helpful for an NBA team to have available centers to play. And they did not have any centers really with respect to Duop Reith, but no centers in the last game. They just like, they kind of looked like it. And I thought, looked a little demoralized in the way that their sort of spirit was against New Orleans. Like they just were like, oh, we're too shorthanded. We're not playing well, kind of let go of the rope a little bit. And that was troubling. And I mentioned after that game that I was like, one of the things I was going to be judging the Blazers on over the next like little bit is like, because they've hit a rough patch, how do you respond to adversity? Because that's like the name of the game in the NBA. The season is forever. You're going to have bad times, and to get back to good times, it kind of takes a level of resolve. This was a really nice step in the right direction. Obviously, shot making and all of that, but like the way they responded in this game speaks to kind of the level of resilience you hope they can cultivate going forward, and the level of just sort of general resolve when it's like, hey, I've said it before at the highest levels, the trick of winning a championship is just kind of like staying in the fight and hoping you get lucky. But for the Blazers, who are like on a lower level in terms of like outcomes and goals, is like stay in the fight and hope you get lucky. Stay in the fight. If you want to be a postseason team, if things are tough in December, and you bail, then your dreams are going to kind of be in trouble. And it wasn't like, the Blazers are still missing their point guards and all of those things, but this wasn't that their season was going to be lost if they don't like win this game against the Warriors and all of a sudden they've lost 4 in a row and 7 of 8. But the hole gets deeper, and then like, okay, now you've got to play 600 ball to have a chance at 9th, and you've got to win 55% of your games to really catch whoever it might be in 10th, Memphis or whatever it is by the end of the year. So like, this is this little test before you get Drew back, and before whenever Scoot might be able to return, and Matisse Thybulle and like et cetera, is just this was a step in the right direction in terms of playing the right way, because they just played. So much of this was shot making, but they just played the right way in this game. A resilience that showed up throughout this game of not wilting when it was like, oh, you're down 10. It's like they made plays, they stuck with it. You just like. And that is the sort of the theme of this whole thing. And it's helpful to have centers back. Even like I didn't think Clingan was very good in this game, and very helpful to have him back. I thought Rob was great in this game. Very helpful to have him back. That is going to do it for today's show. Tomorrow's show, I probably should have mentioned this early in the program. Send me some mailbag questions. If you made it to the 33-minute mark or whatever this is, LockedOnBlazersPod@gmail.com. I have one very good one. I feel like that's definitely going to make the show. That's not a whole show. I probably need, 3 or 4 good ones. If you have a really good one, email me, lockdownblazerspod@gmail.com. Some of you have already sent me past emails that are probably going to get in there. I'll look through my inbox or whatever, but lockedonblazerspod@gmail.com. Send me something that isn't a fake trade for the love of all that is holy, and I'll do my best to get into the show. That's going to do it. If you are an everyday listener and you made it this far in the program, go join the Everydayer Club. If you are truly someone who listens to the show every day on audio, I cannot emphasize it enough. Great deal for you. Go get it. LockedOnBlazers.supercast.com, and the link is in the show notes for this episode. I appreciate you listening. Tell your friends about the podcast. I will talk to you soon.